Police in Butte are making more DUI arrests lately, and it might have something to do with the coronavirus.
The future of Bozeman Public Schools having the option to reopen in the fall back on the table. I'm Cody Boyer here at MSU, where graduation will be and what you can expect next month.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Wednesday, Chet Lehman, Caitlin Corbett, Matt Elwell with you here. A warm, damp kind of morning.
The morning, the temperatures are unbelievably warm, really, into the 50s. We do have some cloud cover, and that's why we're seeing the temperatures hover into the 50s in parts of the area. We had a few hit and miss showers throughout the morning, most of it very light. We've had a little lightning near Butte early this morning. Most of our rain activity is probably going to come through the mid to late part of the afternoon. A couple of thunder showers are possible, especially back into Park County as we move later into the day. We expect to see a few hit and miss showers late in the afternoon. Temperatures are definitely cooler today, but we're going to continue to see these temperatures fall as we move closer to Memorial Day weekend. We'll talk more about that, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:30 now. Governor Bullock says June 1st is the date Montana will begin phase 2 of its reopening.
Yeah, phase 2 will allow restaurants, bars, breweries, and casinos to operate at 75% capacity with social distancing still in place. Gatherings of up to 50 people instead of 10 will also be allowed, and perhaps larger ones if social distancing can be maintained. And the governor says the state will be lifting the 14-day quarantine that had been required of out-of-state visitors coming into the state. He also said the success of the plan will rely on visitors as well as Montanans adhering to health precautions such as wearing masks in public places and washing hands frequently.
Look, every step that we take beyond a stay-at-home order and closing down all businesses indeed presents risk of more transmission. And I certainly expect out-of-state visitors to take this seriously as Montanans have.
Now, the governor said the health precautions he's asking all Montanans and visitors to continue doing are a part of what's new normal now in the Treasure State.
Also yesterday, Governor Steve Bullock toured a Helena warehouse to get a look at Montana's current stockpile of personal protective equipment for the COVID-19 emergency. State workers are collecting the supplies in Helena and distributing those supplies to healthcare providers and counties across the state. The most recent supplies to come in are an order of 500,095 masks from FEMA. Leaders say they're currently looking for more surgical gloves and gowns. The National Guard is putting together COVID-19 testing kits. During the tour, Governor Bullock praised agencies for working together to meet the state's needs.
By and large, compared to where we were even 6 weeks ago, we're in a great position, and we're prepared to keep our healthcare providers and first responders equipped all throughout COVID-19.
Officials say they expect the 500,000 masks at this warehouse will be fully allocated in the next few weeks.
Well, whether it's stress or boredom with coronavirus, people in Butte seem to be drinking more. MTN's John Amy reports that's causing some problems for law enforcement.
The coronavirus lockdown may be one of the reasons police in Butte are seeing more DUI arrests.
I think there is a tendency for people to maybe try to self-medicate, consume a little more alcohol. I don't think there's any question about that.
And many of these arrests involve people with higher than normal blood alcohol levels, and the arrests are occurring in the middle of the day.
It's rare to arrest somebody in the middle of the day for DUI. You know, we have those throughout the year, but it seems like there's an uptick.
Over the past few weeks, police have been making 2, sometimes 3 DUI arrests each day.
The folks who have had a few drinks are maybe calling attention to themselves more than they normally would have simply because the traffic's lighter.
And while people may be drinking more during this coronavirus, the sheriff says that's still not an excuse to drink and drive.
Cabs are still running. There's no reason, Uber's still running here. There's no reason you can't get a ride somewhere.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Time now is 6:34. A big question a lot of people are asking, will schools find a way to open in the fall? Bozeman Schools plan to give it a try. MTN's Cody Boyer has the details.
Bozeman Public Schools trustees met once again, discussing the future of possibly reopening Bozeman Public Schools, and that also included the much-talked topic, graduation.
And with MSU donating Bobcat Stadium for free, that clearly helps with social distancing. But the next step, getting there.
You always worry when you see light at the end of a tunnel. It could be a gorilla with a flashlight.
It's a plan of optimism, according to the Board of Trustees, aimed to reopen in the fall, but have a backup strategy in case the pandemic has plans of its own.
We're looking at those numbers. We're still talking with the health department.
Superintendent Bob Connor says that's why, for graduation, Bobcat Stadium is an ideal venue. Each of the 508 graduates will be limited to 2 guests per student, and Connor says ponchos and masks will be ordered for each graduate.
The ceremony is very, very important. It's a very important transition to young people's lives and their parents' lives.
Graduation will take place at 2 p.m. on Sunday, June 7th. That leaves looking ahead to next fall.
We want to make sure we can reach the kids where they're at and use this learning process from this spring to make sure we have the right answers.
It's difficult for all of our students, even specific beyond that. It's very difficult for our seniors.
Bozeman High Principal Dan Mills agrees. If schools are to reopen in the fall, the state must be in the right phase of reopening amid COVID-19 to do so.
We're going to continue on the path we've started out. We've set some good things in place and continue to support our students, our families in whatever way we need to.
Working with the health department every step of the way.
This could be the last time you are celebrated for doing something and hitting a milestone in your life. And we want to make sure that we give that the appropriate send-off to these seniors.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Shifting gears a bit now at 6:36, a Butte man is in jail after police say he drove through town drunk and threatened people with a gun. John Carragher is accused of driving his pickup along Grand Avenue and pointing a handgun out the window after 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday. He was stopped on Farrell Street, found with a firearm and an open case of beer. He's also accused of threatening to harm police during his arrest, faces a felony DUI and 3 counts of felony intimidation.
Meantime, a Bozeman man is charged with aggravated burglary after police say he went into an apartment and threatened several people with a serrated hunting knife. Court documents show Sage Shermer broke into an apartment on South 11th Avenue Saturday night just after 10 o'clock. Police say Shermer brought the large knife with him, asking the 6 people inside if one of them had been climbing on the roof. One of the witnesses described the knife as a machete. According to court documents, Shermer admitted to losing his temper and entering the apartment without permission.
I'm going to court order that you avoid contact. I'm not going to put a limitation on the distance though that you must remain from these folks. But if you do happen to see that you're walking down the same sidewalk or whatever, that I want you going a different direction.
The prosecutor asked for bail to be set at $25,000, calling the act, quote, disturbing. The judge set his bond to $1,000, citing Shermer's lack of a criminal history.
And Sweetgrass County authorities have identified the man who is presumed dead after falling into the Boulder River at Natural Bridge Falls. 48-year-old Joseph Crawford was hiking and walked off the marked trail, slipped falling 50 to 60 feet into the water. He was swept downstream, passing through the falls and into the canyon below. Also, billions of federal coronavirus relief dollars are going straight to Americans.
But will they have to send some of that money back to Uncle Sam at tax time? Mandy Gaither fills us in.
First, the good news. The money in stimulus checks is all yours. It's tax-free and won't count as income for government assistance programs. Now for some bad news. If you're out of work, you'll owe federal and possibly state and local taxes on any unemployment benefits you collect, including the $600 weekly boost approved by Congress as part of its economic rescue package. When you decide to pay the taxes owed depends on your financial situation. Some experts suggest you have the money taken out weekly so you aren't stuck with a big tax bill later, while others say it might be better to get the full benefit now and pay taxes later when you may have a job and more income. And because unemployment benefits count as income, they may also disqualify you from getting food stamps or federal subsidies for health insurance policies bought on the Affordable Care Act exchanges. However, neither the stimulus checks nor the extra federal jobless payments will affect your eligibility for Medicaid. I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's one of those things. Ask some questions. Find some professional help to help you with all of that stuff.
That is definitely important to know too for those that are, using those benefits. Come tax time, you want to make sure you've got everything in order.
Your ducks in an order. That's for sure. 6:39. We're going to take a break right now. You know the pandemic has not been all bad news. Maybe you're getting closer to your family members, or you're learning a story after the break. Maybe giving yourself a little more exercise by turning to bicycling. How about we check in with our friends at CBS this morning first, see what's coming up at 7.
Good morning. Ahead and first on CBS this morning, the former CDC director discusses his nonprofit's recommendations for governments as they attempt to reopen after the coronavirus. Also in our financial fallout series, hear from college graduates concerned about entering a severely depleted job market during this pandemic. Plus, video chats, they've helped us connect in social isolation. We're going to show you how other virtual activities could help you stay engaged at home under this new normal. And meet the NASA astronauts set to launch into space from U.S. soil for the first time in 9 years. We'll see you at 7.